Week 4, the Tennessee Titans go to Houston to take on the 0-4 Texans. 0-4, or I already put them with a loss, and us with a loss. Somehow both teams lost the game. 0-3 versus 0-3. It's kind of a must-win game. And by kind of a must-win game, I think it's absolutely a must-win game. And Josiah and I, my brother, we are going to break it down on the Titan Bros. Good evening. I know we're coming to you late here on I was going to say Friday, because that's when we typically do it, is Friday, but I had to work late. It was kind of annoying. So Josiah, my brother in crime, is an old man, and he can't stay up late. So he was unable to stay up long enough for us to make the video once I got back and showered and ate a little bit of food because I was hungry. So Here we are. We're going to have to throw out a little video here on a Saturday night, less than 24 hours before the game, but we're here.
Yes, right? We are. Yes, we are. Let's get into this and talk about two lousy teams.
Let's talk about some lousy teams. Josiah's going to be a little distracted today because I'm slightly, him more so than me. He's a big-time bleeding orange Vols fan, and they are currently down by 7 with about 7 minutes to go in the fourth. So he's kind of going to be looking down this way a lot, and he's probably not going to answer what I say too much, but hey, football is football. Anyways, with that being said, we're going to dive right in. Josiah, do you know the Texans? How many points have they scored the most this year? Like, how many points have they put in the game and won this year?
I'm going to say 17.
19. But they haven't scored 20 all year. So technically, Tennessee Titans scored more points than the Texans. Is that a crazy thought? This is going to be ugly. This is going to be ugly. I have a bad feeling that there's a chance that C.J. Stroud finds his groove this year, or this week, I mean, especially with us trading our number 2 cornerback away, which we didn't have a live stream. I almost thought about doing an emergency live stream to kind of give that a little bit of chit chat. In fact, let's go ahead and just open before we dive into the 0-3 and 0-3. Let's just go ahead and dive into that real quick. First of all, your opinion, buddy, on the whole Brian Callahan turning over his play calling duties.
It's just, yeah, he sucks at calling plays, but the thing about it is, like, he's brought in here to be the offensive mind, and if he can't call the plays, then what the heck is he doing here? Like, I was like, you don't bring nothing to the table anymore. Like, to me, that's just delays it a little bit, but to me, it's also saying he needs to go.
I mean, yeah, I officially, I won't say endorsed. I'm not sure that's the right word to use. I officially came out as Brian Callahan needs to go. I don't know if we should do it during season or after season, but like, unless he somehow magically turns something around, I'm done with him. And I agree. It's so many head coaches, offensive head coaches, or even defensive head coaches will do it too. One of the last things they do before getting fired is they turn over play calling duties. That's just like that's a last ditch effort. Basically, you know, it's ownership, GM, whoever starts turning the heat up on their hiney. And they're like, okay, actually, hold up. How about, hear me out. How about if I turn over play calling and I can focus more on the this and the that and the Mahama, then everything else will get better. How about that? And they're like, all right, but we got our eyes on you and we are turning the temperature up.
Can I say this, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually think, because there's a lot of people, and I kind of had this opinion, but there's a lot of people saying that he shouldn't be on the hot seat, no matter how bad he is, because you want to keep the continuity. And I get that. But him actually changing his play calling, to me, actually proves he's on the hot seat.
Yes.
If he didn't feel like he was on the hot seat, I don't think he'd be doing this.
Yeah, I mean, and Austin Stanley said it the perfect way on A to Z Sports. He said, the only way Callahan gets fired this year is if something catastrophic happens. Something to that effect. And let's be honest, I don't think any of us thought these things would be going on. Like, we've lost 3 games because we've only played 3, but we've lost 3 games and all 3 games that we lost, 2 of those 3, I think are directly the coach's fault, with just some of the most mind-boggling in-game decisions or lack of decisions that completely destroyed us.
I was listening to this sports podcast. It's not a Titan podcast, but it was they was talking about several different teams. But they one guy said something about Cam Ward and how he thinks Cam Ward could be a little bit better, and his co-host was like, "Hey, I'm not going to take anything serious about the Titans or about Cam Ward until they get a new head coach, because like Callahan looks like he's trying to lose games." And I'm like, I agree that he looks like a joke, and it's hard to take anything serious about Cam Ward until he gets a proper head coach.
And here's the thing: if he's trying to lose the game, doing pretty good job.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm not saying he's actually trying, but I'm just saying that's how bad he is. He looks like it.
I mean, yeah, I agree. So yeah, a lot of people are like, you know what? Maybe if he gets hands up the play calling duty and he kind of gets better at doing the head coaching, so to speak, as he gets better at making these decisions. But I'm like, right? But we didn't hire him to do that. If we wanted someone to be a head coach to manage a game and all that, we should have kept Mike Vrabel, because I think he's really good at that. You know what I'm trying to say? Knowing when to throw a flag, him and Stretch up in the booth. He knew when to challenge, when not to. He had some mistakes in his rookie season as a head coach, but then he was much better in 2019 in his second year because, well, we went to the AFC Championship, which is an insane thought. I don't think we're going to the AFC Championship in Callahan's second season as a head coach. But anyways, if that's the kind of guy we were looking for, let the coordinators be coordinators and the head coach is just supposed to be like the little CEO type, then Brian Callahan's not the guy we should have hired. And now we're trying to make Brian Callahan do that. I understand that he hadn't handed over play calling duty. But at the same time, I think they should have just said, be better. And if you can't be better, you're done. I don't think they should say, we're going to change what you brought you in to do. We're going to change all that. I don't know. It's just frustrating.
I just look at him like he just looks like he's over his head. He's not cut out for this. And hey, some people meant to be head coaches, some's not. And no offense, Callahan, because everybody I hear talk about says he's a great guy. So no offense. I'm sure you'll get another job somewhere, not as a head coach. But I don't think you're cut out for this, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think he is either. Poor fellow. Moment's too big for him. All right. So that's all we got to say about the Brian Callahan to get caught up on that. Next, Jarvis Brownlee trade. What you got for me?
I don't get it. It was a dumb idea. Unless he was just unbelievable. Because I know the rumor out there that he's a cancer in locker room. But I'll say this. That could be true. I'm not saying it's not true. He kind of has that personality. But I remember Micah Parsons. They said the same thing. As soon as they traded Micah Parsons, all of a sudden all these rumors came out. It's like, oh, he was bad in the locker room. All of his teammates hated him. I'm like, and this just all magically came out after they did the trade. Sometimes I think a team says stuff to make the trade look better. That could be the case. That could not be the case. I don't know. But I would say what we got out of him was dumb. Because here's the thing. We got him in the 5th round, right? And he proved that he's better than a 5th round pick, but we couldn't even get a 5th round out of him. Like, that just made no sense to me. Also, I want to keep young talent. If we have to do a file sale, get rid of the old players. Get rid of a second-year player.
Get rid of Zeitler. Get rid of Okonkwo. Get rid of, honestly, I hate to say it because he's my boy, but Ridley, if Ridley's going to keep being this way. Or like you said, Jeffrey Simmons. Because I know a lot of people really love Jeffrey Simmons, and he might be the best player on our roster. But the problem I have is if we're this far from being competitive, by the time we're actually competitive, he'll be 31 years old and just a role player at that point. So yeah, what's the point of paying him 20 million a year to do it or whatever we're paying him? Here's the issues I had with Brownlee, because I had big time problems with Brownlee before we traded him, but then I don't think we should have traded him. And maybe we could have gotten like a 4th round pick for him. Yeah, absolutely.
He was getting too many penalties. I definitely agree with that.
Lots of penalties. I know you were really annoyed with him at the end of the first game because you said he has a target on his back now, so they're going to be throwing flags on him for the rest of his career. You got to remember he also had the stupid body slam penalty in preseason.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
And then
he actually did one in the regular season too, but it didn't get flagged for some reason. But he's got to quit doing that. Then I don't remember if you remember this in the joint practice with the Bucks, he actually got mad and started walking over to fans and was trying to fight a bunch of fans. We had to pull him back. So he's way too, like, I don't like his personality. I like his grittiness and his toughness. I didn't like his personality. I thought he was kind of like, honestly, like Jeff Simmons, honestly. He's kind of like Jeff Simmons. I didn't like that. That said, I thought he had a lot of upside because sometimes you need some of that. Sometimes you need some of that just Honestly, you can almost call it delusion that he has.
It's just annoying that we got rid of a pick and him to get a 6th-round pick. So, yay, we got a 6th-round pick. That was basically just getting rid of him. That was just basically getting rid of him.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sadly, that's probably going to be one of those situations where the details or the reason why we're never gonna know.
Nope.
And it's one of those situations where you almost have to root for him to fail, because if he just becomes a starting corner in this league and is just good for the next 7 years, you're like, we traded him away and a 7th for a 6th-round pick.
I haven't hated Chad Brinkle or Mike Puganzi, but that was the first time not a good move.
Yeah, I love 2 not good moves. One was Dan Moore.
Yeah, that's true.
Dan Moore is gotten better. He was awful in week 1.
Yeah,
he was in week 2, and then week 3 he's actually pretty good. But still, now he's got Daniil Hunter and Will. What's that guy idiot's name? Howard? Nope. Will. What's their edge rusher name? They just got him in the first round.
Oh.
Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Will Anderson. Sheesh. Yeah, so they got them coming to town. So they're going to spank Dan Moore again.
They're going to destroy Cam Ward.
They are. But I mean, I have issues with that signing, kind of. Mostly just because how stupid much it was. And then I'm going to have issues with the whole trading away of Brownlee Jr. Basically just getting him out of there.
Here's the problem. Snead, you can't guarantee he's going to stay healthy. And now we don't have him. It's like we are so close to having Baker Jr. and who else is our other
Armour Davis.
That being our 2 cornerbacks. And I'm like, holy crap, you would torch us all day.
Yeah. Now, thankfully, a lot of people disagree with this because it's actually a hot topic on the old Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, is people saying Snead's playing pretty decent football. Best cornerback play we've had in a while. And a lot of people are like, he sucks, because they look at the one play that Devontae Adams had a nice little TD on him. And no doubt he did roast him on that play. Really sold him on the out move and then went upfield. But I think he's playing fine cornerback play. Like with every loss we've had, there are so many fingers you can point before you get to L'Jarius Sneed. In my opinion. And that was one of my bold takes before this season was I said, I don't think he's going to be a top 5 corner, but I think he's going to step right back in and he's going to be fine. And so far that's happened, in my opinion.
And I'll say this, he hasn't been bad, but I think our defense, actually, I had a bold prediction. I don't remember if you thought it was crazy or not, but I had a bold prediction where I just realized, like, pass rush is so important in today's NFL, and it's going to be so bad, and it has been so bad. I'm like, and this is, where I thought we had decent corners. I'm like, I can see us being like 27 or worse in defense, in total defense. And I can't remember what you thought, but I said that before the season starts, and right now that's where we're at, and I just don't see us getting much better.
Yeah, the problems were getting worse. With police points allowed, absolutely. We allowed 20, and then 33, and then what was it, 42? Is that what we allowed? 41?
41. Against the Texans, we're probably going to bring that down a little bit. But here's the thing. Our pass rush is shamefully bad. I mean, we knew it was going to be, but it's bad. It's bad.
I mean, I agree with you. Sadly, it don't matter if Snead plays good. It doesn't matter if insert random cornerback here that replaces Jarvis Brownlee Jr. does well. It doesn't matter how good our safeties are. It doesn't matter if we have no pass rush. There's no pass rush. No. We had 2 almost sacks on Daniel Jones last week. That's it. The week before that, we had 1 sack, and it was Amani Hooker. The week before that, we had 1 sack. It was Jeffrey Simmons, and he ended up just derailing that because of a stupid penalty that lost this game. It's just our pass rush is so disgusting. And that's honestly more than Daniel Moore and more Dan Moore and more than trading Jarvis Brownlee away for nothing. That's my biggest gripe with Borgonzi to this point, is being like, do you really think Draymount Jones, Arden Key, Femi Oladejo was enough to be even close to league average?
I'll answer that. No, we were terrible. I would say we've done a lot of talk about this game coming up, but I would say I think Mike Borgonzi, I know we're still in rebuild, so you can't just throw money, but he's got to bring in more talent. This team is so talentless. It's so bad. We're just too bad.
I mean, it is. Basically, he's drafting really well. I'm loving our draft picks from him. So basically, is what you're saying to me is he needs 3 draft classes before we're going to be competitive. because he was unbelievably low key in free agency, which a lot of people said he would be.
Which
So
sadly, that's gonna be his thing, and that's may not be a bad thing, but that's a slow way to fix stuff.
it works really, 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 really well if you draft well. But I agree, because next year, if we have 7-ish draft picks and we get meaningful, good snaps out of 4 of them, 5 of them,
That's just 4 or 5 positions, though.
that's
I mean,
4 or
yeah,
5
so many,
positions.
so many holes.
So many holes. Plus, sadly, there's already people acting like Snead and Ridley could both get the axe after this year. Sometimes I understand it to save money, but sometimes I don't. When you're well under the cap and you cut a pricey veteran, sometimes it makes no sense to me. Like, I thought the Cheeto Awuzie, you can look back. I thought it was stupid that we cut Cheeto Awuzie. Like, okay, maybe the limited snaps he did play, because he was hurt almost the whole year. It's like the limited snaps he did play, he didn't quite play up to par, but he's still a very solid cornerback, at least a league average cornerback. And then we cut him. Then we trade away Jarvis Brownlee. Guess what? We sure could be using ourselves a Chidobe Awuzie on our team.
Yeah, I agree.
What do I know?
Anyway, you want to talk about some Titans and Texans?
Yeah, we're 16 minutes into the video. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Just the sucker bowl is what we'll call it. The doubless bowl. Titans have a better offense than the Texans, but they have a way better defense than us. We cannot. Now, here's one thing. They're probably going to be without their number one corner, Devin Singletary, I believe is his name. Really good corner. Good for Calvin Ridley, because that dude needs to get his confidence up.
I would say this. That will help the receivers. I like Iron Man. Let's keep seeing him develop. But here's the I'm scared. They have a good offensive line. Nope, a bad let me try again. They have a good pass rush. We have a bad offensive line. I just think, is Campbell going to have time to hit his targets? That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know what sucks? Now, some of it's injuries, and some of it maybe your star is not playing as good as you would like. But you know what the problem is? Going into the offseason, I'm like, we don't have good receivers. We don't have a good offensive line. Like, we got to fix one of them. We look like we tried to address the offensive line. And you know what? It still sucks. And our rookie quarterback is still, running every single play, which I really did not want to see.
Now, maybe this is a hot take and you disagree. This is kind of frustrating. If Calvin Ridley was playing like Calvin Ridley did last year, I'm not talking about 1,300-yard Calvin Ridley. If Calvin Ridley played like he did last year, I think our receivers would be pretty decent. If you have Iomaner doing what he's doing, Ridley being what he was last year, getting 70 to 100 yards a game just about, especially during the back half of the season. Tyler Lockett, especially last week, was being that savvy veteran in the middle last week, like we needed him to be. So if Ridley was playing like he usually plays, Iomaner's doing like Iomaner does, and then you have Lockett being steady Eddie there in the middle, our receivers actually aren't terrible.
Yeah, it just Lockett decided to just be awful. But yeah, you're right.
Ridley.
It's not terrible. There's not many bright spots on this team, but one thing I would give us is Eric Ironman looks as good as you were saying before the offseason, before the season. A couple other people, he's looking fine.
Jim DK,
but you cannot expect your offense to run off of a decent 5th-round receiver. You know what I mean? And with Calvin Ridley, not fourth, my bad. And with Calvin Ridley being as bad as he is, you just can't. That's just not enough firepower to actually be effective.
No. Which means Ridley, if you would like to start doing good, that would be great for us.
Catch the ball, please. If it's slightly contested, you know he's not going to catch it. And he may catch an open one.
I mean, remember week 2 in the Jets last year, he was sliding, rolling in between 2 defenders and catching it for a touchdown. So I would like some of that. He even getting fancy with it. He dropped it twice in one play last week.
Yes, he
remember
did.
That? He dropped it and he's drops it again.
Yeah.
It's just goofy. But anyways, one key matchup with this game that I kind of got my eyes on is their offensive line is dog doo-doo on a 98-degree day right there in pavement. There's no shade. That poop is just sizzling. That's what their offensive line is. But guess what? There's a pile of crap right next to it. Looks just the same. Smells even worse. That's our pass rush. So one of those two units are going to have to win.
Yeah, that's funny you said that. I was going to say the same thing. Our lousy pass rush against their lousy offensive line. Who's going to win? Sadly, and this, I don't see our pass rush getting any pressure. So I'm like, I know they're bad, and they're really, really bad. But I'm just like, I can't see us just getting enough pressure. Like you said, this to me smells like the game that CJ Stroud's gonna get on track, get going again.
Even if he doesn't score 38 points, get like 27, where it's like, all right, we broke 20 for the first
2
time.
touchdowns, 0 picks, kind of, good game. Move the ball down the field.
Yeah.
But I will
so
say this though. Do you agree though? If we don't get pass rush here, that's really just going to show us as how bad it is. Like we have no hope to get pressure that we couldn't do it on this Texans offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And here's the issue I'm having: Draymond Jones needs benched.
Oh, he's terrible.
Arden Key is now the first edge rusher off the bench, which is the role he technically should have.
Yeah,
but he's been a non-factor.
No, he's
Draymond Jones. So in my opinion, they need to put Arden Key back out there to start, because Arden Key at least would have 6.5 sacks every year. It's not fantastic, but Arden Key and
I don't even notice Jones out though.
I mean, yeah, me neither.
Rushes, holes, and nothing.
I even forget what his number is half the time. I think it's
44. Isn't it?
45, yeah, that's it. 45. We just convinced each other so easily of the other number.
Well, I was pretty sure it's 45, but you know random things more than I do. So
I think it's 45. I think you're right. 45. But yeah, so Arden Key's a better pass rusher than Femi Oladejo and Draymond Jones, which is sad.
That was terrible. It was terrible. But again, maybe it could come alive. Maybe I always forget his name. The second round pick. What's his name?
Femi Oladejo. Yeah,
maybe Mr. Femi can get his stuff, his first sack against this lousy offensive line.
That would be nice. Or any edge rusher.
Yeah.
Any. I mean, somebody needs to supplant Amani Hooker with being tied with our number one pass rusher. I caught a lot of heat for this. And by the way, by catching a lot of heat, I mean just mentally I caught a lot of heat because no one actually said anything to me about it because nobody actually watches our show. But Harold Landry, by the numbers, was bad last year. But Harold Landry got sacks. And he's right now, and he has 3.5 already this year. He has 3.5 already. He by himself has more than our entire defense. And you can say what you want. I would take Harold Landry on one side, Femi Oladejo on the other side, Arden Key, the first guy off the bench to give them both rest, way over what we have right now.
Yes,
that's just
1,000%. 1,000%. And that's just another thing that you talked about earlier. It's like, could he have been better? Was he worth the money? No and no. But at the same time, it's better than what we got. And if you're under the salary cap, why not do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think the sad thing about this season, what it made me realize is I think we got more of a rebuild than I thought. I was hoping next year would be competitive at least. I think next year could be another just lousy year. Even with a good offseason. That's the problem. Even with a good offseason.
I was hoping, expecting this to be the 6, maybe 7-1 season. We're like, okay, I kind of like the way it's looking. And then the next year be the year that we can try to get over 500. Instead, it's looking like we're going to have about 3 wins again. And then next year is going to be the year we're hoping to get 6 or 7 wins. And then maybe in 2027 is when we can actually start pushing for playoffs again, which is just so sad. So we're 23 minutes in. So let's go ahead and make our final game score and game flow prediction. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you're watching that Bulls game because 34-34 and the Bulls have the ball. Am I correct?
Yes. How did you
How close are they to scoring?
They're on the 50.
Okay. So about halfway.
20 seconds left. How did it get so long?
20 seconds?
Yes.
All right, get in range for a field goal, man. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'll go ahead and give the way I think the game's going to go. I think it's going to be ugly and slow. I think it's going to be ugly and ugly. It's going to be a disgusting, despicable game. I don't think there's going to be any points. I don't know what the over under is going to be on the betting apps. If any of y'all betting apps want to, sponsor our show, just comment in the comments because that's how that works. But anyways, take the under. I think it's going to be ugly. Now, this is a good chance for the Texans to have a good old get-right game. And if they lose, they're done. In my opinion, if they lose today, they're done.
Here's the thing with Titans. We're done no matter what. The Texans are still got something to fight for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if they lose, they're done. Yeah. With Ravens next week, they'll drop to 0-5 if they lose to us.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to because I just think it's gonna be an ugly, disgusting game. But I think CJ Stroud's gonna make just enough plays. They're gonna get a dub. Texans win 20-10.
2010. That's actually pretty close to mine. I said that was the okay. I
You throw
would
a
say
pick.
well, no, but like just another foot forward, he would have completed a bomb touchdown actually.
Oh.
But anyway, I say Titans lose 20-13.
20-13. So we have almost the same
Yes,
score.
I would say. I have not predicted us to win yet so far. So there's that.
Actually, no, neither did I.
No,
I was close with one of the games. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah. And in all honesty, if we lose this one, which I predict we will, I'm not even joking when I tell you I'll probably predict us to lose every game. The Saints is going to be a toss-up, but I think every single game besides that, even the Browns with their defense and they just beat the Packers, we're probably not beating the Browns. So yeah, we're probably going to go, in my opinion, if we do like what I think we are, we're going to go about 1-16.
What one win? That's pathetic.
Yeah, obviously, I don't actually think it's going to be happening because there'll be games like we'll beat the Raiders for no reason, or we'll beat the Cardinals, which we have those two games back to back. Technically, they're both winnable. They're not so good that they just can't get beat. You know what I'm saying? So it's always possible. And you never know when the Browns might get bored and bench Flacco and put in Dylan Gabriel, and he throws in a great last name, by the way. Anyways, and then him throw 3 interceptions, and we end up winning 10-7 on that one. So there's a chance we'll get a couple wins and get 3 or 4, but still,
I
one more.
I think I predicted 6 wins. I don't see us doing that. That's for sure.
Yeah, me neither. Unless we really turn it around.
So there's only 3 seconds left. It looks like we're do a Hail Mary, and because we did not get field goal range, we had 2 timeouts to the left. Why would you do that? Let the clock. We literally had 2 different times we complete in the middle, and we did a hurry up instead of calling timeout. So now
Brian Callahan calling the plays out there.
Yeah, right?
Is he running that game?
Yeah. So it looks like we'll do a Hail Mary. So you cannot end this video without me saying this Hail Mary. Okay.
Okay.
Who thought they was gonna get some Vol action in the Titan channel? You say something. Start talking.
Okay, I'll start talking. I'm good at that. Just jabbering, just being a jabber face. So yeah, it's disgusting in Tennessee. I hate what we've become already. I hate that we've become apathetic so quickly. And I've said it many times, and a lot of people say this: the most terrible place for a fan base to be is apathetic.
I've hit that spot.
I have hit that spot already. Like I still get annoyed when something happens, but I don't get just devastated like I used to. Yeah. Even last year, I still got mad.
Yes. But say it's crazy that you look forward to football for so long, and then like 3-4 weeks into it, you're like, we're trash.
The preseason, I was done.
Yeah, that's true.
I was already not liking the fact that we wasn't giving Cam Ward any playing time.
No.
I was already not liking the fact that besides Calvin Ridley, our wide receivers were looking mid, as the kids say. Our offensive line was already allowing too much pressures. Just like even during the preseason, I'm just like, wait a second. I don't think we're actually very good. Which I kind of deep down knew that, but I was just hoping.
He's standing. Oh, he's running for his life with a 3-man rush. He throws it. Looks like we did a holding. So no matter what happened. Interception. Oh, he dropped the interception. He could have had some speed, but anyway, he dropped it. But it looks like it was a holding. Declined. Overtime. All right. Tennessee sucks. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Perfect. Well, got anything else you want to say?
No. Besides, I'm panicking. But see, Vols are supposed to win on my Saturdays to make me feel at least something happened good on my Sunday. So if Vols lose and Titans lose, I'm just down on my luck.
It'd be like that sometimes, as the kids say.
Like
all right. Well, if that's the case, we might as well get our not so happy heinies out of here.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. You almost made it through a video without yawning.
True, buddy.
So close. If I would have ended it 10 seconds earlier, you wouldn't have yawned. But anyways, I'm Gabriel Pilcher. This is my brother, Josiah Pilcher. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday night. Go Vols, I guess. Go Titans, I guess. And peace out and all that jazz.